Hey guys, Offline Gamer here. Today I'm going to be bringing you a game by the name of Machi Koro. It is developed by Masao Suganuma and released here in the United States by Pandasaurus Games. It is a city building game where you are going to buy some cards from a center pool to build a better city, to get more gold, and try to build 4 buildings from your city that every player has. The first person that builds those 4 cards is the winner of the game. Let's take a quick look at the components, see how the game plays itself, and then we'll come back here and get my thoughts on how the game plays. Alright guys, here is a 2-player setup for Machi Koro. So as you can see, on the actual cities themselves, for the player cards, we have the construction cards, which are the 4 cards that each player is going to have that they need to build to win the game. So you have a train station, a shopping mall, an amusement park, and a radio tower. Now each one has a little cost of gold in the bottom right-hand or bottom left-hand corner that once you actually do construct it, you flip it over and you have that building for you to do. Also, each player gets 1 wheat field and 1 bakery. The wheat field has a number 1 on the top, which means whenever you roll a number 1, you will actually get the effect on the bottom, which is get 1 coin from the bank on anyone's turn. So that is a card. The blue cards tend to be that you'll see you have a couple of different cards up here. And let me adjust my camera here so you guys can see. You will see that there are a couple of different colored cards here at the top. What those actually do, those, depending on the type of card that they are, is the color that they generally are. So the blue ones are ones that can be done on anyone's turn. The green ones are going to be more of things that can only happen while on your turn. The red ones are ones that actually let you get something if a person, another player, rolls the dice. And then the purple ones is another type of attack one, but it's actually more for like all players. So reds are like specifically 1 player, purple is all players. The second card that you start out with, which is down here, is called the bakery. The bakery you get activates when it's a 2 or a 3, and you get 1 coin from the bank on your turn only. So the way that the turn works out, you will roll 1 die. And it is a 4, so nothing gets activated on that turn. If you would like to purchase, after you roll your dice, you can purchase, you can use, everybody starts off with 3 money. And then what you do is you actually can purchase, which the prices of the buildings are in the bottom left-hand corner. So your first 3 cards at the top are all value 1, so the wheat field, the ranch, and the bakery are 1. Then it goes up to 2. So there's 2 number 2 cards, 1 cost of 3, 1 that costs 6, 7, 8, 1 that costs 5, 3, 6, 3, 3, and 2. Now, depending on the cards that you get. So the wheat field we went over. The ranch activates on a number 2. It gives you 1 coin from the bank on anyone's turn. The bakery we spoke about. The cafe, you get 1 coin from the player who rolled the 3 on their turn. The convenience store will sit there and let you get 3 coins from the bank, but only on your turn only, and only if you roll a 4. The forest gets you 1 coin from the bank on anyone's turn who rolls a 5. The stadium lets you get 2 coins from all players on your turn only. The TV station lets you take 5 coins from any 1 player on your turn only. And the business center is trade 1 non-purple establishment with another player on your turn only. Then we have the cheese factory, which you get 3 coins from the bank for each, and each of the cards has a little circular symbol right next to the name. Like I'll show you on the wheat field, there's like a little thing of wheat. On the ranch, there's like a little cow. So the cheese factory actually gets you 3 coins from the bank for each of the little cow establishments that you own on your turn only, and that's when you roll a 7. The furniture factory Gets you 3 coins from the bank for each of the little establishments that has a gear on your turn only that you own, and that's if you roll an 8. The mine gets you 5 coins from the bank on your turn only if you roll a 9. The family restaurant, when someone rolls a 9 or a 10, you get 2 coins from the player who rolled the dice. And then we have the apple orchard. The apple orchard gets you 3 coins from the bank on anyone's turn that rolls a 10. And you have the fruit and vegetable market, which you get 2 coins from the bank for each of the little wheat establishments that you own on your turn only between an 11 and a 12. So, when you sit there and you look at it, you start with 1 die. So essentially, basically, these cards at the top are going to be the only ones that are going to play out. So the way that you actually get 2 dice is once you build your train station. Your train station allows you to roll 1 or 2 dice. However, when you decide to roll 2 dice, you must take the value that both those dice are. So if you go ahead and you roll the 2 dice, and I roll a 3, I have to take a 3. I cannot do a 2 or a 1. It has to be the value of the dice. The shopping mall, once you build it, lets each of your restaurant and the little bread establishments earn 1 extra coin. This is a pretty big card because you can get extra money for pretty much just doing nothing. So it's really, really great to get extra money there. The amusement park, once built, if you roll doubles, you take another turn. So essentially, it's a way to actually get a whole other turn once you've finished your turn. And then the last one is the radio tower, which once every turn, you can choose to re-roll your dice. So that is huge, where if you sit there and you're trying to get a pretty big number or something specific, and you happen to not get that, you can actually re-roll your dice again, and it'll sit there and get you a second chance. So essentially, once you buy the money, like you saw, you will flip over each of the cards from the constructing symbol to the fully built symbol. Once a person completes their 4th building, they are the winner of the game. Now, there is a variant that I have seen. If you notice on here, I have all 15 cards of the buildings that are available. There's a variant that they actually started with the expansion that came out, which they changed up the rules a little bit, where instead of 15 cards, you randomly deal out 10 of the cards, and those are the cards that you're going to use that game. That sounds like an interesting variant to add a little bit more replayability to the game and add a little bit more variation to it. But other than that, that is essentially how you play Machi Koro. Alright, so that's Machi Koro. Thoughts from me? I really like the game. It is a pretty simplified city building, engine building game, where you just start out with the 2 basic cards and those 4 city tiles that are flipped down that are not constructed yet. And then as you go playing through the game, you buy other tiles, which gives you more gold. And then you end up trying, it's basically a race to see who can get those 4 city tiles built first. When I played this with my wife and I, she enjoyed the game. She kind of thought, she's like, oh, it's kind of simple. It's a good filler game and all that, and I agreed with her. Although what was interesting is, as we played, I went for the more expensive cards. I built the city tile that actually lets you roll 2 dice instead of 1, and she just straight up went for just basic tiles and went through it, and she actually ended up beating me by doing that. So it was kind of interesting to see that I went for the more advanced way of building stuff, she went for the more simpler way of building stuff, and she still won, which was kind of neat. So at least it gives a little bit of variety to it. Now, the way that they have the game set up where you lay out all the cards out and you buy them is pretty interesting. I have seen with the new expansion that's come out for it called the Harbor that adds more cards to the game. There's actually a variant to the rules where you only actually deal out 10 cards of the ones that are all in the box. So it changes what cards are out every single game, so it adds a little bit more depth and strategy to it. That's something that I've read the rules at least online for it, and it looks interesting enough that I want to try it with the base game and see how it changes how the game itself plays. Other than that, it's really fun. It is like a lot of games that have dice rolling where it is luck-based, because you could sit there and have some really good rolls, get a lot of gold on your turn, but your opponent or somebody else may not, and it'll sit there and make it a little bit harder for them to get their gold and get going. I like the fact that they have cards that not just give you gold on your turns. There's cards that only give you gold on opponents' turns. So at any point, you can still make some money in the game. The purple cards, which are kind of like the attack cards, are kind of neat, where it'll sit there and give a bit of player interaction back and forth with it. So, I mean, overall, it is a really fun game. Great little filler game. Like I said, I've sat there and I've enjoyed it. I mean, I purchased this for myself because I had seen a bunch of reviews for it, and I thought it was really fun. And I wasn't, disappointed in my purchase. So that is Machi Koro from Pandasaurus Games. If you guys are thinking about it, I would give this definitely like an 8 out of 10 for a great little game to play. And in between, or even like an introductory game for friends of yours that are not into gaming yet and you're looking to get them into gaming, this is a pretty fun game to play. So yeah, that is Machi Koro from Pandasaurus Games. Like always, guys, click like, subscribe, and as I always say out there, guys, get out there and game. Take care.